The power, the spiritual power that gave birth to this country is the same power and the same force that we need now. We can all agree in the center point and in the middle, the blessings of being in this country and the freedoms that we now have. It would be a tragedy to not know the true story of our country and the 56 or the 3 or 4 powerful masterminds and the courage and bravery that they shined out into the world so that we're all here today to enjoy the freedoms that we do. So it's not the amount of people, it's not military strength, and it's not even money. It is just a spiritual force. And I know how so many of us, especially if you're spiritual, well, let's just stay in the vortex and pretend that a lot of these things aren't happening. But really, we could at least shine our light each night before we go to sleep and pray for our country. At least we could do that. But to do nothing, that would be another tragedy. So the true story of the courage of a few masterminds started in Boston. It was March 5th, 1770, when the British monarchy was in the streets. The colonists didn't like it. There was a little fight. Many people got killed, and that began the seed that began the revolution. So they were ejected, the British force. Yes, they were ejected from the streets, but that was the beginning. And so it was Adam's idea, this amazing idea. Again, it's ideas and spiritual power that can save us all. He said, let's organize, stop all this disorganization, have a correspondent from every colony get together. And they created this amazing group called, the Correspondence Committee. And Adam Lee Hancock were part of this committee. And they used their forces against, because you see, the British were also masterminding and threatening fear. If you go against the crown, we will hang you. So it was Samuel Adams who could have taken that bribe in a way, but instead he said, I made peace with the King of Kings, and I will not abandon the righteous cause of my country. And so they weighed all of this against the crown. They became immune to failure. They had a meeting September 5th, 1774, which was more important than July 4th, 1776. And Thomas Jefferson, in the meantime, was drafting a summarizing view of the rights of British America. He published it, and again, he was going to be hung for high treason. Patrick Henry, his colleague, had said, if this be treason, then let's make the most of it. So they pondered for 2 years. They had, in June 1776, the first opening of this Continental Congress, and they made a motion. I make the motion that these united colonies and the rights ought to be free and independent states, and that they be absolved from all allegiance to the British crown. Adam called this secret meeting, and he put his keys in his pocket, and he said, I'm locking the doors. No one will get out until we reach a decision. So this document was changed, discussed, and ready on July 4th, 1776, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the power of the earth the separation to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitles them, should declare the causes which impel them to separation. All 56 signed. They signed their death warrant. But it is important to understand that it was the few, mastermind using spiritual force, courage, and bravery that saved this country where we all walk on sacred ground. And so to know that again, it is the self-determining power of courage and bravery that we all have, that we can like in a computer, reboot and live with this power, to not worry about the masses and just using that spiritual force and power to save the country that we all love and we all agree that we love. It is my hope that we will do that instead of turning away and pretending that something very sinister is not happening.